Hey, welcome to Live from the Cheap Seats. Welcome to the Cheap Seats. I'm one of your hosts, Rick Hughes, along with the dazzling one over here, Dazzling David Whitescarver. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing fantastic. It's actually a cool evening here in Central Florida. It's
It
one of the
is,
last ones we're going to have this season.
I don't even know what the temperature is here. I'm indoors. What am I doing? I'm like, yeah, it's 71 right now here. It's supposed to, I think, get down in the, I don't know, 50, upper 50s.
Oh, you're gonna need a jacket.
That's such a Florida person talking right there. You're in the 70s. Do you have a windbreaker?
Yeah,
that's such a grandparents parents thing. Do you have a windbreaker? All right, we got lots of Bucs stuff to talk about. The schedule's coming out Thursday night. Dave, anything you want to see on the schedule? Anything that like what would be a nice to have? I would love to see them play on Thanksgiving.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
Let me tell you something.
Let me have it.
I don't care who's on that schedule, and I'm sick and tired of hearing people going, "Oh, we've got a tough schedule." Hey, whoever's playing us has got the tough schedule.
All right, that's good. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. It's not entirely true, but yeah, I like that. It's that's positive. I'm good with that. Yeah, I want to play on Thanksgiving. I really do. I think it'd be cool to have a game on Thanksgiving. I forgot. I think is Christmas on a Sunday this year.
I was lucky. I got Mother's Day put together. Now you're asking about Christmas?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I think Christmas is on a Sunday. I think they're going to be playing 2 games on Saturday or something, and then a whole bunch on Sunday. I believe that they're going to be playing a full schedule on Christmas Day, other than a couple of games.
Apparently, they didn't talk to the NBA, I guess.
Or they just don't care anymore. I have no idea. In chat, by the way, welcome to chat. I have no earthly idea what Christian Puzor is. He just hopped in and said Reggie Cobb. That was I'm not sure what. There's a declaration. Reggie Cobb just hops in and says that. It's kind of random. Charles, hello, how you doing? I see you there. Everybody out there, put in chat. One of the first things that we need to know here on this show, now that we're back to Live from the Cheap Seats, and Dave, I need to ask you this first. What'd you have for dinner?
Well, Rick, I appreciate you asking me. I had actually breakfast casserole, and I also had carrot hummus with lime chips.
On purpose?
Jalapeno lime chips. I put things together.
On purpose?
I don't know if it was on purpose. My neighbor came over. We had to fix something in the garage. I was feeding the dogs. I was bacheloring it. So I just sort of pieced it together.
I'm a little disturbed. I mean, carrot hummus?
Yeah, well, my wife got it for me to try.
Good.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
Okay.
It's pretty good, actually.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm more of a just go ahead and get me queso dip, and I'm happy.
I'll eat that too.
that's a little more my speed. Yeah, I one time had a movie. A girl I was dating invited me over to have dinner at her place, and while we were having dinner, to watch a movie at her place, and she had made kale chips, and I'm sorry, but I tried to be supportive.
I love them.
I tried to be supportive, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life. It was like, seriously, it was like eating thin cardboard. It was. Did
you put sea salt on them? You got to put sea salt on them.
Great. Then I tasted salty cardboard. I mean, no matter how you slice it, it's not going to work.
You didn't do it right. You got to brush on the olive oil, and you can't overcook them. She probably overcooked them.
Let me just say this. If it's a matter of being like tasting good or not, if they normally taste good, yeah, you're right. She did not do them correctly because it was
Well,
it
it's
was
an acquired taste, I guess, but I love the things.
it's an acquired taste. Acquired taste is, it tastes like crap, but you'll get used to it. That's what acquired taste means. I'm not a fan of things that are an acquired taste. I don't know.
We're talking kale. It must be the off season.
Yeah. Okay. So, I just had Bubba Burgers with 3 pepper cheese on one of them and dill Havarti dill. Sorry, on the
3
other
pepper cheese. That sounds good. Where you get that at?
Publix in the deli. You can get it.
3 pepper cheese.
3 pepper cheese, and it's got some kick. It's awesome.
I like kick.
Yeah. So everybody in chat, hey Matt, I see you out there, brother. Christian and Charles, everybody, tell us what you had for dinner. And if you guys want to join us, I will go ahead and put this up here. I will put the banner up here with the phone number, assuming we still have it. I think we do. Not positive, but no, apparently not. Apparently not. The banner got, I don't know what happened. There we go. All right, guys. So if you want to join us, you can call that number to join us. And we'd love to have you on here. So let's talk about a couple of things. Schedule's coming out. I would like to play on Thanksgiving. I would really like a Thanksgiving game. We may end up playing on Thanksgiving and Christmas, which I think by default means there are games on New Year's. I believe that's the case, Dave. If at some point you can check whether Christmas is on a Sunday.
Does that mean Tom Brady may not play because he's going to spend Christmas and Thanksgiving with his family?
Yeah, no, he might be working on that new bank account, that shiny new bank account. He's going to make in 10 years more than he's made 20 years in the NFL. When he finishes his playing career, he is going to Fox Sports. I have been trying to make sense out of this. I've been trying to understand why this announcement just came out. I've been trying to sort of, piece together, because it's really weird. When's the last time you saw something like this announced that far in advance? You don't even know if he's gonna. You don't even know if he's going to retire after this season. I'm actually getting more and more. I'm getting a sneaky suspicion he's in for 2. He's in for 2 years. And I did not have that feeling. That is a change of direction. And because he is still recruiting other players to come here, and he recruited some players who signed 3-year agreements, I think he has. I think he's going to be here for more than one. I think it'd be a hard sell to go to. Now, we hear he's talking to Quentin Flowers and trying to talk him into coming. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but he's doing some recruiting. How do you recruit and say, yeah, I'm going to be here for 1 year. Come sign a 3-year contract.
He just says, I'm Tom Brady. Come play with me for a year.
Yeah, okay. He's already played with him for a year. He's already, so I don't know that that's the case. I get the feeling that he may be back for a couple of years. But I was trying to make sense out of why this was announced now. Yeah, okay. So Alec, thank you, Alec. Christmas is on a Sunday this year. You can come on and take Dave's place anytime. How
about now?
So it to me, a couple things make sense. First of all, Fox Sports had they're doing basically there's media, the way, like we've all heard of their Times ratings are done. I forgot what they call that. See, my mind's going blank. that part of the year where it comes a couple times a year when they actually take the ratings and they do all of this. And
Yeah,
it's
the Nielsen ratings,
sweeps.
the sweeps. Yeah.
And there's some stuff coming up right now. There's a shareholders meeting or something that is coming up with Fox Sports, and this conveniently came out just prior to the shareholders meeting. And there are a couple of other things that are going on. So I believe that's the primary reason. I also believe this is partly, and Dave, tell me what you think about this. I think this is partly Brady trying to, in essence, take back the narrative of the end of his career. I think, instead of Florio out there saying he's going to whatever team Florio is saying he's going to this week for whatever reason and whatever way, this is a way Brady is basically, apparently he's not going to be going to Miami for ownership or anywhere else for ownership. That he's going to Fox Sports, that's his plan. And it sort of takes the sting out of that rumor.
Well, I think Brady felt burned, probably a little bit betrayed, because apparently people inside his inner circle were leaking his pending retirement out. And he did lose the narrative as far as that was concerned. I think he was scrambling to get it back. If you think, he was on a podcast saying, I'm taking it day to day and still working through it and blah, blah, blah. And then the next morning, Twitter, boom, I'm retired. That was awful strange. I mean, that was not typical Tom Brady, who's very calculated, thinks things through and very controlled. That was kind of an outlier, so to speak. So I think there would be truth to that. Yeah, he's
grabbing back the narrative of his career.
Like, and hey, here's what I'm doing. You can speculate all you want. You can keep making things up all you want, but I'm going to Fox Sports, by the way, when I retire.
Right. It takes away the rumor by Florio. It just sort of, I guess it takes away the power that Florio and company had when spreading the rumors. And it gives Brady the narrative of, hey guys, I like where I'm at. Because he also, in his tweet, Brady's tweet was very short and simple. Looking forward to joining Fox. Basically, he said, looking forward to joining Fox, but right now I've got unfinished business with the Buccaneers. And, I think that basically Brady took back the narrative. And I think that's what this was all about. I think in his deal with Fox, there are probably so many he can wear Brady brand on the air. There are so many little things that he's probably got worked into that his people have worked on.
But have you ever, or has anybody out there ever heard him analyze anything as far as football or any type of sports go?
Well, let me say this, Dave. When I saw a play the other day where Brady, when the ball got snapped, he turned around, faked a handoff to Leonard Fournette, and during the fake handoff, he said, cover two. He was telling Leonard Fournette, this is the defense that they're in. The bottom line, Brady's going to be fine. I don't even think there's a question. He's got so much media experience that I just don't think I don't know that there's much doubt about whether Brady can do this or not. I think much like Peyton Manning, Brady could do this with his eyes closed. I think this is easy stuff for him. He knows how to crack jokes. He knows how to work the media. He knows how to do this stuff. We've seen it all 2 years that he's been a Buccaneer. And by the way, guys, when we got Brady, we said, gosh, best case scenario, maybe we could get him for 3 years. I mean, guys, we got him for 3 now. That's done. Now, one thing I do want to bring up, whether we get Brady for a 4th year or not, can we finally stop the BS about Kyle Trask? Can everybody stop saying Kyle Trask is the answer, that Kyle Trask is the future. I mean, I don't know if you saw Clyde Christensen talk about Trask and Brady and Gabbert, but Clyde Christensen basically said, yeah, I don't see Trask being number 2 this year. We need to get him as many snaps as we can right now during OTAs because he's not going to get many snaps later. So we kind of need to see a little bit from him now because Gabbert's got such a strong understanding of the offense that Trask is
well the
really
Bucs for years they've highly valued Gabbert.
right.
They think the world of him.
Yeah.
As far as he's like the perfect backup to them. So I don't see. I mean, if you look at it, Aaron Rodgers didn't play till his 4th year,
right?
So I don't think
everybody's screaming this year. If you recall, Dave, you were on here with me when folks were saying, "Oh, this is great! Now Trask is going to take over."
Give him the chance, etc., and give him a chance to beat him out.
He was never going to be the starting quarterback, guys. They basically said it today. We don't even know what he can do. It's what I've been telling you guys. He didn't take a freaking snap. They don't know what he can do. He's learning this stuff right now, not the physical stuff, not the actual on the field playing. So, now he's going to get some reps here in the OTAs because, like they said, Brady certainly doesn't need him. Gabbert doesn't need him. Griffin doesn't need him.
But at what point do you find out what he can do, and how do you go about doing that?
Well, I mean, you're going to see what you can now, but I think the bottom line is this. He's there as a security blanket. God forbid everything goes wrong. You need a 4th quarterback, but I don't think they're trying to see what he can do now. I don't think that's kind of even in the cards. I think after Brady goes, Gabbert takes over, and then Trask can be number 2. He'll have enough, he'll have enough then, but I think Trask is there as you need a 4th quarterback, and that's what he is right now. Make no mistake, Kyle Trask is the 4th quarterback on this team. If Brady were to go down, if Gabbert were to go down, Ryan Griffin is taking over, guys. All right, Ryan Griffin will take over. So everybody needs to just simmer down on the Trask is the answer thing.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, if it comes to that, the season's over. I mean, if it comes to that, shoot, man, then go ahead and throw Trask in and work for the draft pick.
Let's see what he can do then.
Work for the draft pick. Yeah, see what he can do then. But I mean, we'll figure all that out when the time comes. By the way, to everyone who cares, at least last I saw, the Lightning were up on Toronto 2-0, 2-0. They were going into the second. They had just finished the first. That's the last I saw. I believe it's probably still the same. Nope. 2-1. Apparently the Maple Leafs have scored. But that series is tied 2-2. So what's going to happen there? That's important. Every game so far, the team that scored first has won. Hopefully that will continue tonight.
Well, I think it's game 5 in Toronto. So I think whoever wins this game wins the series.
What, David here, David Robert Stoller, Gabbert is no answer. Pick up Baker for change. Why do you think that, David? I want to know why you think the coaches are wrong about Gabbert. I'd love to hear that. You're welcome to join us on the phone number that I have there. Or, you know what? I'm going to post the link here. If you want to come on video, or you don't have to be on video. You can just put up an avatar. It's pretty easy and self-explanatory, but I'll put the link right there if you want to go ahead and do it that way. I just added the link to the show. But yeah, guys, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me that Kyle Trask is a project that's going to take years to become anything. if he becomes anything at all. I think that's about the extent of it. Now there are other free agents that are out there. I forgot the name of the guy right now that the Giants just cut. I mean, there are several players that are out there. Quentin Flowers, like I said, there are people that are out there that the Bucs, I don't think, are done yet. Now, I think if there's anything that this team needs to do, the only thing, Bradbury, yeah, thank you, Alec.
Bradbury.
Yeah. Thank you, Alec. Dave was like, huh? What? Huh?
James Bradbury. I thought he was like a science fiction author or something.
I'm the one popping off the mouth. I'm sorry, Dave. But I want to know your take, Dave. I want to know your take on this offseason. I look at it and say the only thing I could see that this team needs, the one thing I guess I could say, gosh, I hope we add, it's another defensive lineman. What are you looking for?
No, I think you're looking for exactly that. You're looking for a defensive lineman. I don't think Suh's coming back, and they're probably going to try to sign another veteran for maybe a multi-year deal. I think they need to spruce up tight end. I'm not completely convinced that the draft picks are going to amount to much. And I think they're going to run the ball more. So you need a tight end that's going to be able to block a lot better than what they've been having. Rob Gronkowski notwithstanding. Right. And we're going to assume he's coming back. But still, I still think you need a good solid blocking tight end.
Yeah, well, I mean, supposedly one of the guys drafted, that's all he does is block.
Rookies make me nervous.
Don't try and throw him the ball. But, I mean, whoever's coming in, he's our number 3 tight end. What do you want? I mean, he's the 3rd tight end. That says enough.
And you also, as we discovered last year, especially on defense, you're going to have injuries and things are going to go wrong during the season. And you want to have flexibility to make moves as your all of a sudden holes start to appear.
I don't think there will be as many injuries as last year. And I do think this team top to bottom is better than it was. I think it can weather the injuries a little better this year compared to years past. There is more depth. Johnny Dean and I have talked many times about the importance of depth. Johnny preaches it on the line. And I feel like even though Ali Marpet is gone, I do feel like the offensive line is better this year than it was last year. And it was good last year. I am having a hard time finding any position other than defensive line that I cannot honestly say it's better this year than last year.
Oh, Gadecki, that
single guy position.
I get the sense he eats glass in the morning just to get himself warmed up.
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought there would be a guy that's going to rival Jensen as far as the toughest guy on the line, and I think he can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just hoping we don't end up with too many flags coming from those two, just beating the crap out of somebody just for the heck of it, just for fun.
It's a violent sport.
Yeah, I mean that's some nastiness in the center of the offensive line. There's not any position on this team that I don't look at other than defensive line. There's not any place that I don't look at and say, yeah, I think they're better. I think defensive line is the only thing that's a question mark, and I think they'll address that between now and when the season starts.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, if they pick up another veteran on the defensive line.
Yeah, like I said, I think they are. I think Brady, from what I hear, is trying to woo Quentin Flowers. Suh, who knows? Brady's coming back. Brady doesn't even he's like, I don't want to be a part of OTAs. I mean, he may miss a little at camp. I mean, I think the team already knows when he's signing. I think the agreement's already in hand. I think it's just a matter of I think he probably said, "Yeah, I'll sign, but I'm not going to sign until," and he gave him a date. Because I don't want to do all that extra crap y'all want me to do. I think that's probably how it went down. That's just a guess. But yeah, Brady and Gronk are coming back. There's no way that Gronk's not coming back. I would be incredibly shocked if Gronk does not come back. Beyond incredibly shocked. I would be as shocked as I was when Brady came back. I will be that shocked if Gronk retires. No, it wasn't that shocked when Brady came back. I was excited. Gronk, I just can't see it.
Well, he had Tom Brady as his quarterback before, and he retired before he was 30.
Yes,
And he
and
just got done having busted up ribs and his back issues and a punctured lung.
yeah, no doubt that's true. He also, though, very clearly said, "I'm having fun playing professional football in Tampa. I love this organization. This is not what I've been a part of in the past." Now, what is interesting to ask is Todd Bowles, how is he going to change the? I mean, if you listen to his press conferences, the guy is personality-wise, he's very dry. Even when he cracks jokes, and he's funny.
How do you mean?
But it's all right. Exactly. It's all very dry. And I wonder how that's going to impact the rest of the team. I heard, oh gosh, I think it was Clyde Christensen today said, they asked him how is it going to be different with Todd Bowles as the head coach? And he said, well, when you have a defensive head coach, things tend to be a little more intense in practice. Okay. Stay away from our quarterback, please. Thank you.
We don't want it that intense.
Right. I don't want it that intense. It's important that the Buccaneers, okay, if Todd Bowles' personality starts to become a part of this organization, let's be honest. When you look, if you listen to his press conferences, he doesn't have a lot of personality. Okay, he's a little bit funny in a dry way, but
I find him to be a fireball.
Right. You mean, yeah, say it again, Dave. I find him to be a
fireball.
Right. There you go. I think now when I look at this and I wonder, how is this going to impact the rest of the team? Is this going to be a calming influence on the rest of the team? I don't know what to expect from a Todd Bowles led Buccaneer team. I don't know how that translates. Now, listen, I don't think Arians was overly participatory in a lot of what took place last year.
He got those offensive game plans and took a red pin to him.
Yeah, Jim Melvin, by the way, just said, have I missed something about Brady? Sorry, I just joined the show. Yes, Jim, you missed. Tom Brady has come to an agreement with Fox Sports to be the head NFL analyst. Once his playing days are over, he will be the lead analyst for Fox Sports. I guess that's one way they can replace. Is it Aikman or Romo? Who left? One of them left Fox Sports. I don't remember, but I think it's Aikman left Fox Sports for Amazon. So I don't know, but I mean, we now know Brady's future after playing. Now that doesn't mean after the Buccaneers. If he decided he still wants to play for another team, he can do that. And it doesn't, that has no impact on this. It's just a matter now of when Brady decides to hang him up. I believe Brady is in for 2 more years. I have no insider information. I don't have sources. That's not what I'm saying. I'm reading the tea leaves, guys. And I believe Brady's in for a couple more years because he's recruiting these other people to come play. And I think that I honestly believe that's what makes that he's not going to be able to draw players from other teams if he's saying, I'm here for one more year, come sign a 3-year deal. I don't know how that would work. So I think he's here and says, I think he's here for more than 1 year. Honestly, guys, I don't think Brady wanted to retire. I know this is not a popular opinion around Buccaneerville, but I believe Tom Brady and Bruce Arians weren't on the same page. I don't believe Tom Brady went to the organization and said, get rid of him or I'm gone. I don't believe that happened, but I do believe Brady made known that he would like to see some changes in the offense. And Bruce Arians said, you know what? Why don't I get out of the way and you just do it? And I think that's the cascade that took place and why we are where we are right now.
Troy Aikman's with ESPN, like
Monday Night Football.
Correct. And technically, he makes his ESPN debut on the PGA Championship coverage as he's going to be one of the guests.
Oh, okay. Okay. He has stayed like remarkably. I don't know if you've seen that dude is fit like crazy. He's probably in better shape now than he was when he was playing. Yeah, something's up with. I mean, that guy, he was pretty smart. Jim Melvin says, I just moved into a new house in the mountains and bought a humongous TV, and I'm hoping I get one more season out of Brady so that I can enjoy this TV. You know, I think, Jim, you might get what you want. I am going to bring up another unpopular opinion here. And you guys can call and yell at me or just type in, whatever you're thinking here. But guys, there's a part of me that wants to see what this team would be like with Blaine Gabbert at the helm. There's a part of me that would just like to see what this team would be like.
What part of you is that?
What part of me? It's a small part of my heart. I'm very happy that Tom Brady is back. Don't misunderstand me. But there is a part of me that, all right, this circus of is he playing, is he not playing, this unsure stuff, all of this stuff, I'm a little over it. You
just want to see what Blaine Gabbert can do, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
how many games are you willing to lose to find that out? Just a question.
Well, I'm not willing to lose any. I'm sure it's going to happen. I'm not willing to lose any games this year with Brady. I'm not willing to lose any games this year with Brady, but it's going to happen. I think for me, the circus of is he staying, is he not staying? The Bucs become more about Brady than they do about the Bucs, and I think that's something that I mean, look, I've been a fan since I was, Dave, you were there. Okay.
You are day one, my friend.
Yes.
The original owner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and
that is correct.
Culverhouse.
Ed McCloskey. So I love the Bucs. And I'm happy with Brady. Please don't misunderstand. In one breath, everybody tells me I love Brady too much and I'm too much on the bandwagon. And now I'm sitting here saying this and I watch my inbox is going to blow up with people telling me how wrong I am for saying what I'm saying. Look, I'm simply saying this. When Brady leaves, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the franchise at that point. Now, Brady is pretty smart, and Brady will probably stay until he sees the wheels coming off the wagon, and then he'll bolt. Then he'll get out. That may be the case, and then you may end up with a follow-up quarterback like Gabbert or whatever that is not
Maybe
playing.
he just
with
wants a pay increase and goes to Fox Sports.
Well, you never know. I mean, that could happen. But I don't know. By the way, the Lightning are still up 2-1, guys, with 5 minutes left in the second. For anybody wondering, I'll keep you updated on that. Look, I mean, Dave, what do you want to see happen with the Bucs from here till training camp? What do you want to see? What is it that, when you look at this team, what are you hoping? What news? Here's a good way to put it. What news do you hope is coming out?
Nobody gets hurt.
And then,
that's not
between
really
now
what
and
you're
training
asking.
camp.
I hope nobody gets hurt doing something stupid.
Okay, JPP is no longer on the team. But
It's
no, who?
Here, let me put it this way. This is the greatest time to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Yeah.
The center of the football universe revolves around Tampa Bay. Now, those of us who are long-term fans, it's taken a while for that to sink in. But for me personally, it's sunk in.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Rob Gronkowski might play another year in Tampa. The Rob Gronkowski, Tampa Bay, Florida. Football, professional football. This is fantastic. I mean, there's nothing more. What about Tom Brady's your quarterback? Rob Gronkowski's going to re-sign. You've just picked. I'll tell you this. I don't even think I've shared this with you, but you know those commercials that Matthew Stafford's on with Lily?
Yeah.
The last time I saw him do that commercial, or I saw it play on something I was watching, you know what went into my mind? I said, I can't wait till Logan Hall plants that guy in Raymond James Stadium, about 2 to 3 feet down. That's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, there's nothing more that I think the Bucs need to do. They positioned themselves. They are a consummate team. They play together. I mean, every other week, it seems like somebody is redoing their contract so the team can get better. There's other teams like, I don't know, the Packers, where that never seems to happen. So what more do I want? There's really not much more. I'm ready to go. I mean, I'm not expecting a whole we've already covered the part about, I think, and it'd probably be in their best interest to sign a veteran defensive lineman for depth, if nothing else. Yep. But they've managed the salary cap. I'm good. I'm enjoying.
But what between now and training camp, there's got to be something you sit there like I said. I want to see him play on Thanksgiving. There's got to be something that you look at. You look at this team and say, "Gosh, I hope this," and you fill in the blank.
Okay, there's one thing. It just hit me.
What's that?
I want Jason Licht to admit that he never should have drafted a kicker in the second round.
I don't think that's going to happen, Dave.
That's what I want. If you want something I want to have happen in the offseason, I want that. Because
I think he's already said that. But
I keep thinking I'm past it, but I just can't get past it. And I think if he said sorry, I would feel much better about it.
He's actually, I believe, already said that.
Well, maybe one more time for me.
Yeah, one more just for you. Just to come, me. Yeah, just to say, listen, guys, for you, Dave, I'm sorry. That's what he needs.
And I'm good.
You need a personal apology.
I need a personal apology.
Yeah, because it was a personal affront. It felt like it to watch him kick. So how does that happen?
And he did well. I won't go into college football alliances.
How does that happen? And God forbid that happens with our punter. I don't know if anybody got to see Camarda at the combine punting. That dude can punt.
Unless he falls apart when somebody's breathing down his neck, that kid, wow. I mean, it's going to help the team. I never thought I'd say that about a punter, but
yeah.
And in addition to the salary cap,
they're going to get. Another thing that I heard, in talking about Jalen Darden, because to me, Jalen Darden returning kicks, you always see him as soon as he catches the ball and he starts to run. I feel like he's falling forward as soon as he starts to run. Like his head is a yard or two in front of his feet when he starts running. Okay, so he's already at an angle as he runs, and he goes down very easily. The special teams coach said that he really didn't have a chance because the blocking was so poor last year, and it was poor the year before. I am hoping that this team can figure out a way to have some decent punt return, decent special teams work. Other than, all right, we had a kicker who's been okay, has been good. Not fantastic last year, but he was good last year. He was solid, and I think we're going to switch and go to Borregales this year. And if we go to Borregales, let's hope we have a decent year. I don't want kicker problems again, man. I'm still. That's going to take a long time to get rid of. That's PTSD that's going to stick for a while. Wow, Bucs fans need more than one kicker that did pretty good. We need years of rehab. We need years of counseling.
Neil O'Donoghue.
Yeah. We need years of not worrying about every time our kicker comes out to kick anything 30 yards or greater. We just don't need that anymore. I want to see kick returning, and I want to see a kicker that's solid. Now, for the most part, we have not missed any field goals or extra points at critical times. I said for the most part, we have not missed any key critical game-ending kind of kicks, okay? It hasn't been like that. Now, I don't want to get a new guy in there and all of a sudden start struggling. Now, they know full well what this guy can do and can't do. I really want to see that part of this team, which to me just felt neglected. It felt like we didn't pay attention to special teams like we should. Like we didn't worry about it. And I want to see this team be a solid, I want that third team to perform. I really want them to.
We don't want them to be cringeworthy.
Right.
They have been cringeworthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, stopping their kick returns and punt returns and absolutely not being weak when it comes to that on our own. Christopher Cole says it was the right pick for a kicker and he just couldn't get out of his own head. I don't know, man. I don't know, Christopher, because he's no longer in the NFL. It just, there's no way you can say it was a right pick. We wish it was the right kick. The idea was there. Would have been nice if we had, this guy was the best kicker in the history of college football at the time, and he ended up sucking. So what'd they do? They ended up drafting another kicker who was at the time the best kicker in the history of college football. Yeah, he's now with the Rams.
And shorting 40-yard kicks in the playoffs.
Well, only in Tampa. That guy cannot kick in Tampa. Okay.
Must be the humidity.
Yeah, I don't know. He cannot kick in Tampa. That part's obvious. So yeah, I don't know. I just really want to see solid. I want to see it, look, there are going to be injuries, but it's probably not going to be as bad as last year. There were 4, 5, 6 starters in one game that went out, and they were key starters. I don't want to see that again.
The first week and the last playoff game were the only times you had your full defensive starters to start the game.
Yeah, and honestly, they're so much better than they were. They are a more solid team right now. I'm gonna miss Whitehead. I'm gonna miss him. He was one of my favorite players on that defense, but he wasn't a starter. So
hey, the Jets aren't going to be an embarrassment this year.
No, they're not. And guys, I think, and by the way, neither are the Dolphins, who continue to add pieces and parts. I
We'll see
think,
how good Tyreek Hill is without Mr. Mahomes.
yeah. Yes, we will. And it'll certainly make a difference, I'm sure, but that might lengthen his career some. But who knows? We'll see. I feel like Buffalo is the class of the AFC, but that doesn't mean you're going to the Super Bowl. People look at Buffalo and say, I think they're the best team in the AFC, so I'm going to pick them to make the Super Bowl. I don't know that it works that way. They are going to have to battle Miami during the year. The AFC West is chock full of good teams. I would not be shocked if the representative in the Super Bowl comes from one of the other teams who's got maybe a slightly easier glide path, that they're not getting the crap beat out of them all year, which probably means no Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow, he's going to get the crap. I mean, they're better than they were. Their offensive line is better than it was, but
70 sacks is a lot. And
yeah,
you better be better than that.
Yeah.
The next year.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But David Robert Stoller says Tua is his problem. I don't know. I don't know that we've had much of an opportunity to see Tua be Tua, the Tua that he was in college. I think we're going to see this year. I think this year is the make or break year for him. Honestly, I believe that the Dolphins, everybody's talking about, the Bucs should go get Baker Mayfield. I think the Dolphins should go get Baker Mayfield. I think that would make sense, to take Baker down there as an insurance policy. I mean, I think that's the case.
It'll be interesting to see how bad Baker Mayfield's shoulder was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they
I'm
fire
not saying he's a great
coach.
quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just personally interested as to, he had a messed up shoulder and he gutted it out. What can he really do? I mean, if you think back, he did get the Browns in the playoffs.
He's been there 4 years, and they've had 3 head coaches.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. Now,
No.
I've heard the comments kind of off to the side about, did you see that video OBJ's father put out? Well, no, because I see him miss him in practice all the time. I've heard that, so those types of stories. But it's still, to me, it'd be interesting to see is like, if he's got a healthy shoulder now and he didn't before, what can he really do?
Yeah, I mean, who's the last quarterback that performed well in Cleveland? Bernie Kosar? I mean, Baker,
Brian Sipe.
One of the years. I mean, yeah, it's they're just in trouble. I think Cleveland is in trouble. They're just in trouble.
They got Deshaun Watson, man.
I understand. And
the ire of every organization, general manager in the league after that.
The problem is the organization. That's why I don't believe in Cincinnati yet, because I don't believe in the organization. So we'll have to see what happens, and whether we'll just have to see how this plays itself out. But I don't think Cincinnati, I don't even know that they're going to win the division this year. I mean, that division is a crapshoot.
Well, I mean, the Ravens, they were so banged up, especially at running back and at other positions. Yeah. They were basically fighting with one hand tied behind their back for most of the year. So I don't think it was if there's a team who has just even normal injuries, they certainly can threaten the Bengals from that division.
Well, this is my thought about Josh Allen, and this is my hesitation about Josh Allen. When I say this about every running quarterback, and he's no different. You're going to pay the price for that. I get it. He's a big dude. But one of these days, one of these big freaking linebackers with a full head of steam is going to clock the living crap out of him, and it's going to change him. And I mean, we're 2 years removed from Lamar Jackson being MVP, right? All of a sudden, Lamar Jackson's not looking like, all of that. Kyler Murray not looking like he's the guy you can count on. Name the mobile quarterback that you can look at and say, oh, we can count on him. Mahomes, not so mobile anymore. He hasn't been playing that mobile style of football. He doesn't run much. So, yeah, they changed him. They changed his game. He moves around in the pocket. He rolls out. He does some different things like that, but he's not a running quarterback anymore. Running quarterbacks, guys,
they have a very short shelf life.
Yeah. I mean, those are some big men on the other side of the ball. And you take a beating like that. And that's why, dear God, Tom Brady, please stop trying to run for first downs. Go ahead. Let's let our brand new shiny punter show off and miss that first down. And let's let our punter do his thing. Okay. I get it. Maybe you can get that first down, but I want you in the game. So
give Tommy a little fun. He gets so juiced up when he runs for a first down. Give him a little break.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I just want to see. Here you go. Jim Melvin says, I totally agree. The front sevens are vastly superior and more dangerous than the college game. And that is a fact. I mean, you are taking
everybody's fast.
Everybody's fast. Everybody's big. You're taking the cream of the crop at every position, and all you have to do is run one time and let that cream of the crop one time really put a lick on you, and it's going to change. It's going to change you.
Because that's how you got Tom Brady as your starting quarterback in New England going way back when.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, okay, David Robert Stoller, thank you for telling us second period is over. Still 2-1. Go Bolts.
The most important period is about to come up.
Absolutely.
For the entire season.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. I think if the Bolts win this, it's over. What do you think, Dave?
Oh, whoever wins this game tonight, because I don't see either team winning out.
Right.
So it's in Toronto, and you got to get them.
Yeah.
You got to get them at least once in Toronto, and you better.
Well, they have already gotten them once in Toronto. They won the second.
But
game.
I mean, they gave it right back in Tampa.
Right.
Right. The way I look at it. So.
Yep. No, I agree with you. But I think if they win this game, they literally will have won 2 out of 3 in Toronto. I'm feeling much better. if they're 2 out of 3 and then they're going back to Tampa.
I mean, I give the edge to the Lightning just because of their experience. Toronto's going to – I don't care who you are. When you're in the big-time game looking at a big-time team who's won back-to-back Stanley Cups, you're going to be quaking in your skates a little bit, and that's going to be enough to give the Lightning an edge.
Yep. But you and I both going into this series were like, oh, boy, this is not the same as the past couple of years, and it's not. But they seem to know how to turn it on when they need to.
Being $30 million over the salary cap, it helps.
Okay, guys. So in chat, I want to hear everybody in chat. Tell me in chat what you want to see happen between now and camp. I want to hear between now and training camp. I want to hear what you guys want to see out of this team. Look, they're going to pull another free agent or two. I'm fairly confident about that. They're not done signing people. They haven't signed the rookies yet. They're going to do that. Guys, I'm pretty confident that this team is better this year than they were last year, deeper this year than they were last year. And that's what got them in trouble last year was the injury bug got them. This year, God forbid, they have to end up in that same situation. They'll be better off this year. Now, I don't know what I think about this running back that they drafted, White, Rashad White. I'm not sure what I think about the guy. Guys, I I'm no expert on this. I don't pretend I am. But I go back and I watch the highlights. I watch I watch my few YouTube videos, and I'm not dumb enough like some people who think that means they're like, now I have an opinion.
What great highlights!
Right.
4 of them.
Look,
They were awesome.
Look, I'm not sure what I think about this guy yet. The highlights were underwhelming. He had some nice plays, but every guy who made the NFL had some nice plays, on tape over years. I'm just not sure what I think. Now, he says he wants to be a starter. He seems to have all the right attitude about it. I like his attitude about it. All of the draft picks, the one thing I noticed was a certain drive that these guys have. Like sometimes you don't hear that from players. You don't always hear this hunger for success. These guys all seem very, very hungry for success. So, we shall see. David Robert Stoller says, remember Ryan Leaf? Yeah. Look, 50. By the way, go back and Dave, look up the first round that Jameis was drafted in, and we can finish with this. I think this is an interesting way to finish this, Dave. I want you to read the 32 names from the first round of that year, and let's see how many you guys know. First rounders, okay? Let's see how many made a real impact in the league. How many are still playing? How many are good, Dave? Just read off the 32 names.
Okay, I'm looking at what year was
15? No, 17? 16. Probably 16. Just look up Jameis Winston draft, first round.
I did, and it didn't pop like it normally would.
Okay. Anyway, you got it? 2015 draft, round 1. And he's working on it. I wish we had the Jeopardy music right now. All right, I can probably pull it up.
We had I got it.
Oh, yeah.
It's here. Some things just get weird.
I know.
Okay. Jameis Winston was number 1.
Okay. He is still a starter. Okay, go ahead.
Starter. The Tennessee Titans selected with the second pick Marcus Mariota, quarterback out of Oregon.
He's starting now. So, but he's back as a starter, but both of those two are kind of weak. Now, go ahead. Now, just start rattling off names.
Surprisingly, the Jacksonville Jaguars had a very high pick at number 3, and they had Dante Fowler, defensive end, outside linebacker from University.
Just start going through the names, or we'll be here for
Amari Cooper, Brandon Scherf, Leonard Williams, defensive end, Kevin White, wide receiver, Vic Beasley, outside linebacker, Eric Flowers, spelled Ereck, Todd Gurley, running back, Trey Waynes, cornerback.
You guys see all these names that are nobodies that were drafted in the first round?
Hey, Danny Shelton, number 12, defensive tackle, Andres Pete, offensive tackle, Devontae Parker, Melvin Gordon, haven't heard from him lately, Kevin Johnson, Eric Armstead, Marcus Peters, Cameron Irving, Nelson Aguilar.
You guys realize how many of these names we don't even know?
Cedric Ogbuehi, and I apologize if this is Ogbuehi if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Bud Dupree, Shane Ray, DJ Humphreys, Shaq Thompson, Breshard Perriman, go Knights, Byron Jones, Laken Tomlinson, Philip Dorsett, Demarius Randall, Stephon Anthony, and to finish it off with the Patriots selected Malcolm Brown, defensive tackle from Texas.
what a disaster of a first round. I mean, there are maybe 12 names there that I've heard of that are still impactful. Maybe 12, and I'm including Jamison Mariota in those.
I mean, the average NFL career is 4 years, and Brady's skewing
But
that.
these are round one guys. These are the top guys that when we watched the draft this year and we see all these guys and we're like, yeah, we got to get him. Yeah, we got to get him. Stop and understand. It's very likely 20 of these guys that, we heard, oh, what a great pick. We heard all of this. 20 of these guys, 5 years from now, we're going to be like, who? We're not even going to remember the name.
You're focusing on the first round picks, but this stat I thought was interesting related to third round picks and quarterbacks. Since the 2012 draft, there have been 13 quarterbacks selected in the third round. Out of those, there have been two starters. One, Russell Wilson, and the other, and to me, he's a pseudo starter, and that's Nick Foles. And that's it. Just as a starter.
That's third round. Okay, we were just talking first round, 20 out of 32. We were like, who? I don't even know who these people are. And at the time, they were the big names in the draft. They were the big names, the ones everybody were mock drafting. Right? I mean, these are the guys that everybody thought were going to be good. And I mean, it's a mess, guys. It really is a mess. And that's why one of the things that I like about what Jason Light does is he seems to draft guys that are hell bent on winning, not just having good, not just making good money, not just, all right, I'm just going to play whatever. I mean, these guys are like what's his name? Rashad White, the running back, where he's like, I want to be the starter. Now, just for the sake of unpacking this as our final thing before we go, Dave. There's been a lot of talk about Ryan Tannehill saying it's not my job to mentor the rookie quarterback. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, I do.
Let me hear it, Dave.
Here's what he needs to be more than anything is a great teammate. Now, depending upon an individual situation, I don't know exactly what that means for the Tennessee Titans, but he needs to be a great teammate. And if that means mentoring him, he needs to do it, and he needs to do it well. Now, I know Mike Tomlin pointed out, and he has a point too. He says it's not necessary for Ryan Tannehill or any NFL quarterback to mentor their potential successor. And that's because you have offensive coordinators and you have coaches. Now, there's different sides to the issue. You do have it isn't his job description, and he doesn't necessarily have to do it. In fact, he might be a lousy mentor. Who knows? But you don't want him to damage the quarterback either. There are offensive coordinators, there's quarterback coaches, and that sort of thing. So, but at the end of the day, here's what needs to happen. He needs to be a great teammate. And if that includes mentoring, then he needs to step up to the plate. It depends on the individual situation and the people involved. For example, Joe Montana and Steve Young infamously never got along. And Montana had absolutely no interest in mentoring Steve Young, and it turned out pretty well. So I think it depends on the people involved, but at the end of the day, your focus needs to be on winning and being a great teammate. And I'm not completely sure what would be best in this situation. If you go on, I think some of it was taken a bit out of context. If you went on with the next sentence, but if he learns from me, great. So it's not like I think that Ryan Tannehill is just going to sit there and go, there's some kid looking to take my job. I'm not interested. I think it's more of a function of, hey, look, I'm not a mentor. I'm here to focus on being the best quarterback I can be. If the kid picks something up for me, great. Nevertheless, I go back to every person on a championship team or who aspires to being a champion, their attitude needs to be, I want to be the best teammate I can. And whatever that means for that particular situation, then I think they need to step up.
Okay, I want to go a little different than what you did. I don't see Tom Brady as mentoring quarterbacks beneath him. I don't see him as being a guy who does that. All right. I see him as Jimmy Garoppolo was not mentored by Tom Brady. Brady's taking some shots at that guy. I don't think Tom Brady is mentoring Kyle Trask, much to the chagrin of some of you guys. Guys, I honestly believe these are Tom Brady is focused and hell-bent on one thing: winning. That's all. Winning a ring. That's all. I don't think he's, let me help this guy who may be taking my job in a year or two. I just don't believe that's his makeup. His makeup is to crush the competition. Now, I think, ironically, Blaine Gabbert helped Brady a lot. All the coaches have talked about it. Blaine Gabbert brought Brady along, not the other way around. And, helped to teach Brady this system. There is one thing and one thing only that I want from the players on the Buccaneers: a hell-bent desire to win a ring. I don't care about any other peripheral static. Leonard Fournette does not need to teach our rookie running back. The coaches can do that. Tom Brady does not need to teach Kyle Trask. Tom Brady needs to be Tom Brady, and Kyle Trask probably should pick up a thing or two. I believe in the NFL, you don't become a stumbling block to anyone on your team, but it's not your job to mentor the guy that's coming along. It's your job to do everything possible to win. And the guy can learn from that. You're going to be a mentor by default. That's my take on that. All I care about from Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette, Rob Gronkowski, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Russell Gage, the entire offensive line, the entire defense, all that I care about, hell bent on a ring. When you do that, it's all good. The guys will learn. The guys will learn. That's my take on it, at least. Anyway, Dave, you got any last words you want to throw in here?
Oh, it's just great to be a Buck fan right now.
Isn't it, though?
I don't understand this mentality of like criticizing the organization, taking a shot at it, the draft, blah, blah. This is the greatest time to be a Buck fan. So close to a Super Bowl victory. You're the favorite to be, you're the betting favorite in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl, even after the Rams and all the signings they've done. The Bucs are the top dog right now as far as betting goes. So this is fun. This is make up time for decades of futility. This is mountaintop experience over several year period. I mean, even after the first Super Bowl, I mean, we thought, oh, we got John Gruden. We're going to pound that rock back to another few Super Bowls, which never happened. So
2 years after the Super Bowl, we were done and knew it and felt defeated.
Correct. So here it's 2 years later, and Jim Melvin's got his big screen TV, for heaven's sakes. I mean, this is the time to have big screen TVs and to be a Bucs fan.
Absolutely. It's a great time to be a Bucs fan. Everybody take that. Be positive. Be positive about your team, your organization. Be positive with each other. Only way to end it, Dave. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.